Yeah, g'day, this is Corey and this is my Jurgs Cup 3 build. For some reason there's no audio on most of this, so I've decided to just voice over. I might put some background music in, I don't fucking know yet. But yeah, Jurgs Cup is a way we celebrate the life of our mate Jurgen, who passed away a few years ago. Each year we do a build challenge, and this year was the hollow body hoedown theme, so bent wood, chambered, just any way to make your guitar hollowish. Doesn't have to be fully hollow. And yeah, here I'm just making a form up of MDF and using some T-Rex tape, which is pretty fucking tough shit, eh? And yeah, the idea I have is pretty fucking out there, and yeah, at this stage I didn't know whether it was going to work or not. Anyway, here comes a video of me actually talking, so catch you in a bit. Yeah, g'day, this is Corey, and it's first thing on a Friday. It's the 9th of January, so I'm getting a late start to the Jurgs Cup this year, but yeah, I had other stuff going on, so I've made time during my Christmas break. So what I'm going to try to do is make nearly a whole acoustic body out of epoxy, and it's going to be glow in the dark epoxy. So what I'm going to do is going to pour the base layer, and then hopefully pour the sides. I've got a positive template to go in here afterwards, and we'll wait and see. We might be able to do a top, we might not. We'll have to, yeah, just wait and see. It's all an experiment. If this fails, I've got wood to bend, so let's get cracking. So after putting some silicone in and shit, I did try some wax to make it easier to remove, but that didn't work. As far as the audio goes, I think I tried to mute it for a section and then I ended up muting the whole fucking thing. And you know, it's the 9th of April now, and this year's Jurgs Cup just about finished, so I got the videos on YouTube, but set as private because I'd leave them as drafts just in case I accidentally delete them off my phone, or if I accidentally fuck up and turn the sound off, and all you'd hear anyway is the fan going, and it's just too loud for what I do. But you know, it's autumn still, and it was 40 degrees in the shed yesterday, so it's a fucking issue, and I can't wait till I get the big shed, because that fucking thing's going to be kitted out to the tits. Anyway, I'm cutting out a tail block here. I cut off the Florentine, sorry if there's flubs, but I'm doing this before I actually work as well. And yeah, it's just pouring the sides here, getting the tail block, and it was close to $200 worth in epoxy when it was all said and done. I had a bit left over in cups, which I'm going to use as inlay material. And yeah, who knows if it's going to work? Well, I do now, but anyway, I clamped the form down, obviously, and now I'm using clamps to try to get the back, the plug out and everything, which I actually got a fucking fat lip from doing this, trying to, you know, exert pressure, pull stuff out. I couldn't find a decent mold release where I am, So I did this when it was still not fully cured, thinking that would be a lot easier to do. Eventually got it out. Had to leave it in the sun to get the internal plug out. And this is just how I'm leveling off the sides. And yeah, I've seen all this before because I've actually edited it, but I can't remember what fucking happens next. So this part actually had sound, but it's so jarring compared to what's already going on in the video, so I'm just going to mute fucking everything. Anyway, so what I do is I cut these pieces, I glue them up, and I fucking explained that really well, didn't I? So the main thing with this is to have a lot of stuff pre-glued and have it flat. This jig I made ages ago. It probably needs remaking, but I clamp it down, I glue on, and then I use a wedge to push in so there's a bit more pressure for clamping. And then I clamp from the back face, so it's glued down and across. And if everything's the same dimensions, it should end up flat. Sometimes it doesn't. A lot of the time where I push the scarf in, there's like a little bit of overhang, which is good because I can run that through the drum sander then to get it all flat. But yeah, they look cool, but there's so much time to do it, and you know, you're better off doing it with scrap wood rather than proper fretboards and neck blanks, because there is a fair bit of waste. But yeah, it just takes a fucking fair bit of time to do. And always clean your tip, because I've actually cut myself on tight bond once. So I got this idea off Dave Dickens, and basically all I have is like so many bits of MDF glued together, and I masking tape and super glue the neck to the block of MDF, and then I just sand until it's all flat. I know other people use the planer thicknesser, but to me that can introduce chip out. And now I'm making the neck block because I didn't trust the epoxy for when I possibly glued a neck in. But yeah, what I did was I just cut a channel after I drilled out with the Forstner bit to go over the ridge that I made, because I did little epoxy braces when I had the plug in there as well. So I'm doing all this work to make sure that there is no way this could fail. And I end up making like a little sand and stick too from an offcut of a ukulele neck that didn't work out. And yeah, this was fucking sketchy. And like, you know, it should be flat, but during this time I had troubles with my bandsaw, and like it was just smashing the inserts because the blade must have had like a little bit of a kink in it, and it was just pulling everything into the bench. And yeah, I don't know why I kept filming this, because it looks like it's fucking went on for a bit too long. And yeah, there's my stand and stick. And just made sure it was flat enough because I was going to put epoxy in there as well. And yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at this and I realise I haven't edited much. Okay, this here is Loctite epoxy adhesive. And that little tube on the end self-mixes the epoxy, and it's so good because you don't have to have like a piece of cardboard or a block of wood with epoxy on it and stir it in, and then have half of it soak into the wood. So this here, it mixes in the tube, and I ended up gluing the bridge block on like that as well. And yeah, this is clamping the tail block in, well, the bridge block actually, so just to prove I didn't bullshit yous. And I don't know what's coming up next. I might have to watch forward a bit to find out. Oh yeah, no, well, I didn't have to watch forward, I was patient. What I did here was make bracing for the top. I used maple and ebony, and then I end up bending it around an existing template. And if I can find the picture, I'll try to put it up like over the screen while I'm talking now. But there's a sort of bracing that I really dug while I was looking up how to brace a acoustic top. And it looks like it's the way I want to go with my bracing, but the shitty thing is when you make acoustics, you won't be able to see it only before you put the top on, really. Where this is going to be like see-through, hopefully. And yeah, I tripled up tape or even quadrupled in parts. Got that off Patrick from Shed of Dreams. And yeah, basically when you make guitars and shit, you either intentionally pinch ideas off people or you unintentionally pinch them. And, you know, sometimes it's hard to figure out where you get shit from. But if I know I've gotten something off someone, I'll always try to make sure I give them credit. I'm not one of those guys who act like they've came up with this idea. Like the sanding jig with Dave, the double up masking tape, like I would never have thought of that if I didn't watch any of Patrick's videos. And yeah, like we're all in it together, so why don't you not be a shit cunt and just admit where you get stuff from. And this little rant came out of nowhere. Like, I haven't had anyone pinch any ideas off me, I don't think. Oh, there might have been one in the GGBO, but sometimes you get ideas the same times as other people. And yeah, anyway, bit of tight bond in the sweet chili sauce bottle, and I use that to glue to the wood with the braces. And the guitar's finished. What I had to do is I had to add to the neck block because the little bits on the corners here ended up breaking at some point. And I think we're coming up to nearly the end of the video. I might have to have a look. So yeah, the video's about to come to an end. So thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. We would really like the Jurgs Cup to take off, kind of like the Great Guitar Build-Off did initially. And yeah, spread the word, because whatever merch we end up selling, it goes straight to charity, and it's just a great way to commemorate a mate's life. He had a big impact on me, and I know he had impact on other people's lives. Like, he was just, a top bloke. Anyway, don't be a shit cunt. Catch us in the next one. Hopefully it doesn't take me months to fucking upload again. Well, I want to do these videos anyway before the end of the Jurgs Cup. And if you couldn't tell, I've been diagnosed ADHD, so that's why I'm all over the shop. Anyway, catch you later. See yous.
you.